forever in an everlasting kingdom. How could Luke even think he would reign over the house of Jacob, let alone for a millennium? After 70 CE, that house was scattered to the winds. Both evangelists are struggling to fit the emerging mythology of Jesus as a dying God into the Jewish prophetic tradition, and a very uncomfortable fit it is. Ezekiel would have had a fit, not to mention all the other prophets, including Moses, who slew Israelites for lesser lapses. After all, the children of Israel only worshipped a cow. To worship God's Son was an unthinkable blasphemy. So, if according to the Nazarenes, that Jesus wasn't divine, then what was he doing here? I contend, and they contended, that his kingdom of God is right here on earth, when people are in right relations with each other. The Gospel of Thomas, discovered in the sands of Egypt last century, confirms my view. In it, Jesus says, if those who lead you tell you this, behold, the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the sky will precede you. Trust Jesus to add that witty touch. Watch out, the birds will beat on you pie in the sky types. Who knew? Flocks of birds have been flapping up to heaven ahead of the church for almost 2 millennia. Note that saying never made it into the Bible. Not after Paul and Matthew had erased Jesus' true aims and turned him into a dying God. But there is one passage in the Bible that belies such another world in Jesus. First, to lead up to it, my book is chock full of conspiracy. And conspiracy is alive and well. This, what I'm going to be leading up to, is a passage one publisher denied me permission to include in my book. I included it anyway. If they sue me, you can't buy that kind of publicity. It's from a gospel known only from an obscure Islamic text written in Tehran in the 10th century. The scholarly establishment suppressed this work because it quotes Jewish Christian gospels unknown anywhere else, and still totally unknown because the book was suppressed. The establishment got his knickers in a knot because the master narrative claims that Jewish Christians disappeared in the early 5th century, therefore they can't be in Tehran 5 centuries later with their gospels. Scholars viciously attacked the poor translator, and the publisher withdrew the book. I had a lot of trouble getting it. Anything that questions the true history of Christianity got it all. Particularly Jesus as a perfect animal. Can you imagine Jesus whooping it up like a frat boy? According to this suppressed passage, it did. He did. It reads, Jesus is an eater and a drinker who goes into the houses of fornicators and keeps company with sinners. Actually, the same occurs in both Matthew and Luke with the fornicators. In Matthew, Jesus says that people call him a glutton and a drunkard. And in none of the 3 occurrences of this saying does Jesus deny that he likes to eat and drink heartily. In all of my 79 years of church going, I don't remember a single sermon preached on this text. And in those years, I've heard thousands of sermons. Now there's a challenge for you, Ron. True to his master, St. Peter's last homily exhorts his listeners to continue the communal, caring society Jesus instituted. He knows they will do this, he tells them, if they fix love in their minds. And what method does Peter recommend? Why? Partying together. See that you be frequently one another's guests, he tells his audience. So Jesus and Peter, therefore, call their followers not to those sober-sided meeting houses of my Puritan ancestors, but to a feast of joy in God's kingdom. We know that the Jewish followers of Jesus held that vision dear because of the desperately sex-deprived saint known as Jerome. Ignoring Jesus' partying, Jerome sneered at them. They expect, quote, voluptuousness during 1,000 years, horses and four-in-hand, coaches and palanquins, mules, male and female, etc., etc., etc. Jerome scorns them because the Ebionites understand it in the way it has been written. It, being the passage which God